TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. We're here live in Empowerment USA. So I'm still here with my guy, One Punch. One Punch, we got a fight coming up, man. We got a guy, Teofimo Lopez. He about to step into the ring versus Subriel Matias. This is a fight that I think should have happened maybe a year ago when Matias he was on a winning streak. But I'm noticing the trend, and I'm not trying to knock Teofimo Lopez, but I'm noticing the trend where as though he's taking fights or fighting fighters who aren't ranked as high, also fighting fighters that are coming off of losses. Have you noticed that as well?
I did. I have. But I can't take nothing away from Teofimo. I like him, gutsy kid. And when they thought he was, done and over with, he always came back to surprise them and shake up the world. So he got my hat,
And Teofimo, he is a world champion now. They were saying that he was undisputed, but I didn't believe that he was undisputed due to the fact that he didn't have the WBC title that was held by Devin Haney.
I agree.
So, a lot of times they say that he's undisputed. Not trying to take nothing away from him because he did beat Lomachenko when Lomachenko was considered to be the boogeyman. So with this fight with Matias, I don't know if they are expecting Matias to be, written off and just going left instead of going right. And I just hope that Teofimo prepares for this fight. It's scheduled to take place on March the 15th. What does Teofimo have to do to win this fight?
Stick behind his jab. He's gutsy. Do what he's been doing. But I like Matias, gutsy kid. He was sold on me. I called him the modern day Shaka Zulu. He was a gutsy warrior. And he knockout artist. I loved him. I don't know what made him, get sold. I'm not no disrespect to Eddie Hearns. That's my guy. I respect what he's doing. So he sells him on the fight and going back home, and he gets bumped. He gets a loss when we had something real big in the works. He was getting offers from all over, Devin Haney, Teofimo, a lot of different ones, and he had the title. He can write his own ticket, and he goes over here, and he gets bumped his first title defense. I was scared. I was upset. I was like, wow, see, this is what happens. I don't even know what's the money worth it. But hey, he has another opportunity to redeem himself. I want to see it.
And you see that, a trend of Eddie Hearns. Well, this is not a trend from Eddie Hearns. This is just like a boxing trend that's been going on for years, whereas though when they have a prospect or a fighter who's on the rise, they normally want to get them in front of their hometown, their country, wherever they're from, to kind of build that buzz and to get just the people from where you're from, where you're born and raised, where you're from, to get behind you, to kind of get them behind you, and then that can people can see that your friends and family or people that live from where you're from, they're actually watching, and they can bring more viewers from around the world. So the fight in Puerto Rico where he came up short, was an upset loss to Liam Pearl, I believe, and then he lost that fight, and now he's fighting Teofimo Lopez for Teofimo's 140-pound title.
Right.
Matias is a very, very, very good fighter, in my opinion. And
mine too.
And I think
I don't take nothing away from him. I tell him he's the modern day Shaka Zulu. I love him.
He has the opportunity, to pull off the upset. Now, the issue for me would be, is he able to catch up to Teofimo? Because Teofimo tends to move around. He mixes it up, but can he catch up to Teofimo?
Yeah, that's going to be the telling of the tape. I mean, can he move behind the jab? Is his right hand right there? Is he going to land the right hand, or that left hook that he likes to throw so much? How well he adjusts in the ring with a real bona fide champion. Yeah.
And do you think now that Teofimo is fighting Matias coming off a loss, do you think that they would give Teofimo the credit for this fight?
Yeah, I mean, because Matias is hungry, so he has to redeem himself. Coming off a loss, and Teofimo, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like a lot of people has written him off. He's been, called Lazarus so many times because he always raised from the dead. He's been battling a lot of mental issues, a lot of, times when he wanted to give up on boxing, and just, his fortitude to come back, and whatever demons he's been battling outside of the ring has brought him back into a point right now where he's recentered, refocused, and a lot of people is rooting for him. Mental health is important, and people now are talking about this more because fighters are being, damaged by this. It's really an outcry. So when you see fighters speaking about it and going through different adversities and still battling, that's a real true champion, and I love it.
Yeah. So, and Teofimo Lopez just came off a victory versus Steve Claggett.
Yeah, I like that fight.
And people were kind of downplaying the fight, saying he's picking someone who's not even ranked and so forth and so on. But I think that was more so of a confidence builder for Teofimo coming off his struggle in his fight before that versus Jermaine Ortiz. People thought that he lost that fight, but I think he needed to get something to get his confidence back up. Right. Even though he didn't close the show, but he needed a fight to kind of get his confidence up to see if that's where he belonged. I think he mentioned that as well in the post-fight conference. But Teofimo is a fighter, like you said, a fighter that you see him. He said the top of the mountain. He fell off. He lost. Cambosis beat him, and people were like writing him off and killing him online and internet, so forth and so on.
Lazarus, I call him. That's why I love him. Just the fact of, his tenacity and his willpower. The will is way back, and now he's back in the hearts and the minds of the people, and they want to see him. I mean, for a Friday night or a Saturday night, I'm going in to watch him. Before I was like, wow, but he's been entertaining. He's been great, and I'm like, wow, I really want to see him fight. So when I seen this come up on the radar, it piqued my interest.
Yeah, because this fight is, even though, like I said, people were going to try to say, hey, he's fighting a fighter coming off a loss, but Teofimo is and Subriel will be a major fight, because it's something that, even though he lost his last fight, was an upset, he didn't lose, he didn't get knocked out, he didn't get stopped. So you see him coming back fighting Teofimo Lopez. I think this is going to be a fight, and this fight is going to be very, very interesting. So I want to tell everyone to tune in. Both fighters are top of the division, so we'll see what happens. I think Subriel's ranked number 8, and Teofimo is right at the top for the title. So we'll see what happens, man.
I'm excited. Yeah, I got my popcorn.
It's TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. Hello, you need home care services for yourself or a loved one, but you don't know where to begin. If you don't want to wait in a long line to the welfare office, or hire someone to do the work for you, or you're just tired of the runaround, please allow Medicare to help you. Call now, 215-644-8341. 215-644-8341.